Vice Station Manager, Amza Radio McKinney.
You dey part of MRCG / and other partners the engagements where dem hold for journalists them for look inside the transitional justice issues that wey dey affect people inside Sierra Leone. Wetin you make up of this engagement?
This engagement is really welcoming, very important and timely. It came at a time where, in fact, many they say now we don't. I mean, things they get late because for too long, then recommendations and then they in place, but nobody is even working on them. You look at the fact the government they come in and go, they are not working on them, and even the media itself not only use them for as a reference point for discuss specific cases of or instances where TRC don't raise over time now where don't lead to, I mean, atrocities or destruction of lives in the past. So this is timely, and I think it's a moment where it remind journalists for say then we'll continue for work on this, and they use TRC recommendations as a case in point in the different radio programming them where it will help for better educate them, I mean audiences them, and at the same time for also help shape agenda for the one that we're doing governance, so they will understand the need and realities around issues of violence and what may not happen in the past.
So in any time where you do work as a journalist, you don't come across the issues, yeah?
Of course, like I say, very challenging. These are issues where we all know of. We know it don't happen, it don't appear in reports, and even in with daily reporting in the daily performance of the functions as journalists, with the students now they happen.
So how you feel say with this training we able go for address them?
This one they help for change because, like I say, they think them they already now because we've not been work on them. Just like how those in governance, the one way that they in power, know they work on them. We not them for work on them. We have not been work on them, and I believe say media people, we know say media are very powerful in society. Media they work on them recommendations thereby bringing up those issues highlighted in the recommendations in different programs. And this will go a long way for remind those in governance, those in positions of trust, for realize the need say indeed we don't go wrong and there are certain things we don't go wrong, and the need for go by these recommendations, and only when we go by these things sanity and peace will prevail in society.
For end this interview, several issues wey range from youth violence, nepotism, tribalism and others in them inside the political system from government in, government out, not become address it. Whose key message you get for then set of people here and also other media practitioners then?
This don't happen for too long, and there is no way we have to go by these things. The simple way for address them now for let we not see what been happen years back, where been brings Salongo behind, where the memories are still the sad memories are still new and fresh in our minds. Now for now we go by them thing there. And the media now one kind of powerful tool way will be used for set the agenda for remind the politicians, those in governance, for to say no, you know what, we have to go by these recommendations. We get for avoid this and this way we know say we don't bring we back, we don't bring us along back to dark days, and so we have to work on those things. We have to bring in coming up with design programs based on issues highlighted within the TRC report, and so by so doing we set agenda for those in governance. They have to go by these things, and I know say when we they involve politicians or those in governance in these programs, we ask them key relevant questions. All of these things are engagement in these media programs. By asking them questions, that definitely they will have no option but to go by them because they are there for the people. And if they go by these recommendations, these issues, we talk about media, they set agenda for, definitely, then they will be settled.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mina Ibrahim Jallo, the Regional Coordinator Northeast for the National Council for Civic Education and Development.
You they part of this engagement where MRCG and partners do.
Yes,
we look
very
at transitional justice and a salon. Where do you make up of this engagement?
Well, it's timely, a very useful, a very purposeful, a highly interactive, and at the sense the energy in the room. But absolutely, we still get a lot of unresolved issues because we will draw the transitional justice issue as alone from the truth and reconciliation recommendations. But we get a very long way to go. Today we realize that will not even begin the journey properly. So we are challenged to action. We challenge for really begin for reference and hold the duty bearers accountable for implementation of the recommendations of the TRC.
So that's some of the things we take home.
One is the issue of contextualizing the various recommendations into we reporting as journalists, as media practitioners. I think say we've been in the drum unintentionally, but we'll not be aware. But we need now for put in proper perspective so that we remind, like I say, the duty bearers for say we get a long way to go, and until and unless we really address and implement those TRC recommendations, I think say we're not going to still safely say we don't move up to a stable and cohesive state.
So to the one that we know able come, waiting you able share with them.
I think say incumbent on all journalists, all media practitioners will go back home in our daily engagement, na the print media, na the radio, even on personal one-on-one interaction and relationship and discussion, we need for emphasize on we huge backlog on we reporting on transitional justice issue na salon.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank
you. Chairman Media Reform Coordinating Group, MRCG.
So, Chairman, how does it feel engaging journalists on transitional justice?
It was a great experience, particularly bearing in mind the fact that issues of transitional justice have not been at the forefront of discourse on national issues. But then, those issues are so real. They live with us every day. More so considering the fact that Sierra Leone as a country had gone through a transition from war to peace. And there were several transitional justice mechanisms, i.e. the Special Court for Sierra Leone, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's program that produced its reports, the reparation programs by NACSA and other agencies, the institutional reforms that are going on. These are all transitional justice TJ mechanisms. But it appears as if over the years we have not given them the importance they deserve. So discussing with journalists these issues, trying to let them understand the issues so that they can do stories on them to increase the public knowledge on those issues is very important to us.
Going forward, what do you think will be the next step of these journalists that have been trained and also MRCG in ensuring that transitional justice issues are curbed in Sierra Leone?
So we have started with a baseline study which gives us a clear idea as to the understanding of the journalists on TJ issues and the extent to which they report on those issues. Now a draft manual has been produced, part of which we have used for the training sessions. We have also had the session, the regional training sessions. We are now moving on to the next stage, which is about having a small group of journalists who are now going to be mentored, who are now going to be coached on reporting on TJ issues. And then in turn, we go back into their various localities and communities and begin to write stories on transitional justice issues in the country.
These have been age-long problems, and governments in government house have failed to address this problem. Do you think it is imperative that the current administration try to see how best they will take this into consideration by addressing them?
That is the very reason why we are talking to journalists. That's the very reason why we are letting them to understand what these issues are. Because the people rely on the journalists for information. They rely on the journalists for news. So if the journalists understand these issues and then they begin to put their reporting within the context of TJ issues and the people understand these issues, then they will make demands where demands are necessary, and then the government will see the need to respond to those demands.
To end this interview, do you think curbing these challenges will bring some relevant effects that will help in the...
Of course. The TJ issues are about peace. TJ issues are about justice. TJ issues about democracy. TJ issues about development. So when all of these issues are addressed, as a country, we will be poised towards the path of peace, development, progress, and national unity across the board.